iteration statements or loops. What are all the iteration statements? We have already learned in the chapter 5. Iteration statements are while loop, do while loop and for loop. What is the use of an iteration statement? If some statement is to be executed repeatedly, then we can use this while loop, do while loop or for loop. Okay. Then first one, while loop. While loop is also known as pre-tested loop. This while loop is known as pre-tested loop because in this while loop we are checking this condition at the beginning. See, the syntax for the while loop is while condition, then bracket, statement 1, 2, etc. n. Then for example, I is equal to 1 while I less than or equal to 10, see out I is equal to I plus 1. In while loop, then there should be one initialization and condition and increment or decrement. Three things. One, initialization, condition and increment or decrement. See, in this example, which is the initialization, I is equal to 1. Here, which is the iteration variable in this while loop, I is the iteration variable. So, that iteration variable we need to initialize. I is equal to 1. That is the initialization. Here, which is the condition? I less than or equal to 10. That is the condition. Then, which is the increment? I is equal to I plus 1. That is in the while loop. There should be three things. That is initialization, condition, increment or decrement. That is, if the condition true, this block of statement will execute. The condition false, it will exit from the while loop. For example, here initial value of I is equal to 1 while I less than or equal to 10. That is 1 less than or equal to 10. So it will print 1. After that I is equal to 1 plus 1. That is equal to 2. 2 less than or equal to 10. So it will print 2. That is, it will print 1 to 10. When I is equal to 10, 10 less than or equal to 10. That is true. So it will print 10. After that, I is equal to 10 plus 1. That is 11. In that case, 11 less than or equal to 10. In that case, the condition is false. So, it will exit from the loop. That is, if the condition is true, it will execute the block of statement, and the condition false means it will exit from the loop. And also, in the while loop, that condition is checking at the beginning of the loop. That is why it is called pre-tested loop. Okay, consider one program. Hash include iostream.h, hash include conio.h, void main 1 to 10. Then what will be the initial value of I? 1. Then what will be the condition? I less than or equal to 100. Then what will be the increment value? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, the relation is 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So, increment should be I is equal to I plus 1. That is, here initialization is I is equal to 1. Condition is I less than or equal to 100. Increment is I is equal to I plus 1. Okay. Next, one more program. Program to print the multiples of 5 till 100. In this case, what will be the initial value of I or iteration variable? Initial value will be 5. What will be the condition? I less than or equal to 100. Then here, what will be the increment? Multiples of 5. What are all the multiples of 5? 5, 10, 15, 20 like that. That is, 10 means 5 plus 5. Okay. 15 means 10 plus 5. So, the increment value is I is equal to I plus 5. Okay. Then get. Next, iteration statement is do while loop. Do while loop is known as post-tested loop. It is known as post-tested loop because in do while loop, condition is checking at the end of the loop. Okay, that is after executing the statement, it is checking the condition 1, 2, etc. n. It is not 1, it is n. In do while loop, this condition is checking at the end, and also in this while, after this while condition, there should be one semicolon. First do, this do while and all should be in small letter. After do, there should be one opening bracket, then what are all the statement to be repeated, then while condition. In do while loop also, there should be one initial value, there should be one increment or decrement, there should be one condition. Only the difference between this while loop and do while loop is, in while loop condition is checking at the beginning, do while loop condition is checking at the end. That is, after executing the statement only it is checking the condition. Okay. In do while loop, condition is checking at the end. This is the syntax for do while loop. See here, example, I is equal to 1, that is the initialization, then do, then the statement to be executed or repeated, that is cout I and I is equal to I plus 1. After executing this statement, while I less than or equal to 10, after that there should be one semicolon. Okay. In do while loop, after this condition, there should be one semicolon. Next, we can consider one program. Here, to put one do. See, program to print the numbers 1 to 100 using do while loop. In see do cout I, here which is the initialization, I is equal to 1. Then cout I and I is equal to I plus 1, while I less than or equal to 100. After that there should be one semicolon. That is, it is printing 1 to 100. Initialization is I is equal to 1. Then the statements. These are the increment. And then these are the statement to be repeated. In that there should be one increment statement. Here the increment statement is I is equal to I plus 1. The condition is I less than or equal to 100. Okay. Next program to print multiples of 5. In multiples of 5. See here. This is the program to print the multiples of 5. Here one do statement is there. You can put that one. After in here, what will be the initial value? Program to print the multiples of 5. I is equal to 5. That is the initial value. I is equal to 5. That is the initial value. After that, do, then the statement to be executed. The statement to be repeated. Cout I. Then here increment value 5, 10. That is I is equal to I plus 5. Multiples of 5 means 5, 10, 15. Difference between 5, 10 is 10 is equal to 5 plus 5. 15 is equal to 10 plus 5. So I is equal to I plus 5. While I less than or equal to 100. Okay. Then Then difference between while loop and do while loop means while loop is a pre-tested loop. While loop is a pre-tested loop. Do while loop is a post-tested loop. Okay. While loop is pre-tested loop. Do while loop is post-tested loop. That is, in while loop, condition is checking at the beginning. In do while loop, condition is checking at the end of the loop. Okay. That is, in do while loop, at least one time the statement should execute. But in while loop, sometimes it may not execute even one time also. But in do while loop, it is compulsory to execute this statement. All the statements should execute at least one time. Because after executing the statement only, it is checking the condition. That is why it is executing the statements at least once. These are the difference between while loop and do while loop. First difference, while loop is pre-tested loop. Do while loop is post-tested loop. Then the second difference, in while loop, condition is checking at the beginning. In do while loop, condition is checking at the end. In while loop, it is not required to execute the statements at least once also. But in do while loop, it should execute the statements at least once.